A very good morning to you, our dear viewers, and welcome to Lumen Morning Diary here on Lumen TV. Not forgetting, it's a channel 101 on Topstar. And those of you who are following us on social media platforms, don't forget that you can also be part of our today's discussion. My names are Eugene Gianni Musoka, and of course, I'm not alone. I am with Alice Lungu. Good morning, Alice.
Good morning, Eugene. Yes, it's a beautiful Saturday morning.
Indeed, indeed.
And looking good, I must say.
Alice, you are always on point. You are always on point.
We thank God for that.
Indeed, indeed. Alice, today we are talking about the Zambia's economic powers. And the big question that we're asking there is, can the citizens of Zambia celebrate the gaining of the Kwacha, especially against the dollar?
That is the question that we also want to hear from our dear viewers. Like Eugene has said, today's topic is Zambia's economic pulse. Can citizens celebrate the Kwacha gain?
Yeah, we have experienced the gaining of the Kwacha, especially against the dollar recently, and it has happened rapidly. But I think the big question there is that what are the effects, especially on the markets, as far as the buying of products.
We've also actually seen the reduction of 1 Kwachas from the bus fares.
Indeed, yes.
What are the people saying out there? Are we going to see more reduction of it in the near future? This is something that, because of the past, we had seen bus fares rising each and every single time, but at this time we've seen the reduction of the bus fare to 1 Kwacha.
So by 1 Kwacha, yeah. I think we are still observing. As for me, I'm still observing. We are still yet to see what this gaining of the Kwacha, because I know most of our viewers out there, including myself here, didn't understand in the first place when we say the Zambia against the dollar. So now everything kind of black market vintu dollar yakwera, but now the dollar has continued to gain strength against the dollar. So we want to hear from you, our dear viewers. Are we able to celebrate this? And we'll be able to hear from the interview which happened, outside this studio, where we interviewed these experts, and they're going to tell us more about what it means when they say the Kwacha gaining against the dollar.
Yes. Actually, Eugene, I know we've actually lined up quite exciting segments for you on Lumen Morning Diary. As usual, we do bring a lot of exciting things, such as food for the soul. It's always important to begin the day with the word of God. It's always important to feed our soul with the word of God. And of course, when Eugene is around, we don't forget to talk about sports.
Yeah, indeed. You also talk about the bad news that we have.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens indeed.
It happens. There's time for everything.
Indeed.
Sometimes, yes, you can win. Sometimes you can lose.
Yeah.
And let's not also forget that we have our beautiful kids around who share with us the kids segment. I'm sure they have a quite exciting topic for us, and we don't forget to share what is trending on social media. Of course, we hear a lot of stories during the week, and we find it very important to share with you people what has been happening around our communities. You can also share with us nivichani vane vichitika kuma communities yanu. Mungatiuze koma stories by simply texting or calling us using the numbers that will soon show on the screen.
Yeah, so that is just a brief outline of what we have prepared for you, our dear viewers there. I know you are enjoying this show. This is your favorite show, you are enjoying it right there wherever you are following it from. Don't forget, you can also be part of this by sending us your contribution. You can even give us that comment on Facebook, or even writing us a text message using the numbers that will soon show on your screens. It's very important, Alice. Today we have got a fully packed show.
Oh, yes. So, Eugene, we'll dive straight into what's trending on social media.
Indeed.
Like I'd shared earlier, we hear a lot of stories that do happen during the week. Like, for me, the story that really touched me the most, Eugene, is the story that happened at the Kalingalinga filling station.
Yes.
Of losing one person. Of course, it's all over social media. There was Kawalala.
Oh yeah.
Amene banashita attack my fuel attendants, and it's really sad that a person died. A female fuel attendant actually passed on.
Yeah, Alice, this is a story that has touched many Zambians, especially because it talks about the loss of a life. I think as a nation, we need to sit down and see how we are going to secure these people, especially these who work, exceeding hours, 20 hours, 21 hours. Also talking of the issues of security, because I've worked as a guard myself before, and I think we have not paid much attention to these issues of security in our country, where you are putting someone as a security on a particular location without any weapons of defense. And these people who come to attack, they come with guns, they come armed. So by the time you are informing the police, we have already lost a life, which is so unfortunate. I think we need to, as a country, we need to find means of how we are going to combat this issue of securing these places, especially where there are a lot of assets, places like a filling station where people are bringing in money each and every minute.
Oh, yes. And I don't know if you came across the footage of what actually happened.
I've not seen the footage yet.
Yes, there's a footage that is actually circulating on social media of what actually happened, how they were being attacked. I must say it's really disturbing to actually watch. It's sad that people can actually reach to that extent of ending somebody's life, or in the name of wanting to have money.
Indeed, there are people with criminal minds.
Yes. And yes, the whole week we were so excited talking about the Copper Queens.
Indeed, yeah. We are so excited, talking about the Copper Queens participating, at least qualifying to the quarterfinals, of which it came to a disappointment yesterday after being thrashed 5 goals to nil by Nigeria. I think it is indeed a sad story. I saw people yesterday drinking themselves out. They took a lot of beer in the name of comforting themselves.
Yeah, it's really sad. And then there was also another story that I came across with Eugene on social media of a 42-year-old man who was beaten by the mob in Chinsali after allegedly defiling his 4-year-old granddaughter.
You see, such issues, Alice, also, they are very disturbing. We don't even know who we are going to blame. Are we going to blame the mob, or we are going to actually both of them? We are not in order. So I think the men should look at their children as people who have got futures. I think I mentioned this last time. And for the mob, if you come across someone who has committed an offense, don't come in and take the law in your own hands. If you are able to arrest that person peacefully, there is citizens arrest. Yeah, get that person, take them to the police, and the police will be able to handle those issues, because you find yourself answerable. Nowadays there are people with phones everywhere. Whatever is happening, they are always capturing what is happening. You'll be found in a scene of also assaulting someone. Don't even regret it. Don't even ask yourself questions when you find yourself behind bars. It's very bad. It's very bad. Yes. So just a caution, men, please, let's take care of our children. And I said, those are your own children, your own child. What has happened to these women? The minister talked about it. Let them come for us your size.
It's really sad, honestly speaking, Eugene, hearing such stories. We keep on hearing such stories. The time we entered in 2025, it's deferment case after the other. I really don't know what's happening.
It's really sad. Even
with the tough punishment that is there, people keep on repeating these mistakes.
Yeah, we don't know what is going on around this world. And I think I mentioned it. Some of them it's because of they take a lot of disturbing substances that disturb the functioning of their bodies. Especially these who smoke, they smoke these other substances looking at a kid, maybe and things like that. So I think it's something that is very serious, and it calls upon all the citizens, especially all the people around. When you find a kid on the road, let's know how we are going to take care of them. Sometimes let's take interest and find out what is happening and make sure that our children are safe. And I mentioned also earlier that let's find appropriate people to be taking care of our kids. Now,
it's like Sadi said, you can't trust anybody nowadays.
You see?
Nanguni boy child, nanguni girl child, we just feel our kids are no longer safe around anybody.
That's true.
Another story that is trending is any person found using campaign materials of a non-contesting political party will be fined up to 60,000 or imprisoned up to 2 years.
Yeah,
ECE chairperson.
That is what is supposed to be done, Alice. It's like, Alice, I'm going around the compounds using your name. Because I know Alice is famous. Alice, I want to use your name, in the community. It's just for me to get what I want. It is really sad. And I like that one because we have seen this happening where people are still using, the campaign material for a non-participating political party, like the Patriotic Front. If the Patriotic Front is not participating in an election, then we shouldn't see any regard for Patriotic Front because it is not there. You get it? In the end of the day, we are going to see people from a different political party misbehaving. And then when people come, they say, we saw people from this particular political party, and yet that political party was not even participating. So if you are a PF, be a PF. If you are UPND, use UPND regalia. You are a Socialist Party, let's see a regalia for Socialist Party. If you don't have regalia, don't worry. Just talk to the people and tell them what you will do for them. Otherwise, you will find yourself wanting in this policy which has just been put in place by the ECZ.
Okay, Eugene, I know we have quite a number of stories that are actually making noise on social media. I wish we can actually share a lot, but this is also for you, our dear viewers. You can also share with us. What is that story that has touched you and you want us to share with you? Lumen Morning Diary is actually for you people. It is important that we also get to hear from you. For now, we go on a short break. We'll be right back.
sun is rising. Morning star and good morning to our dear viewers watching us on Lumen TV Center this morning. My name is Palo Kangwa and these are my friends.
My name is Rachel Ponde.
My name is Teman Ponde.
And my name is Henim Tali.
And today on the kids segment, we are talking about hygiene. So what is hygiene? Hygiene The sun is rising. Morning star and good morning to our dear viewers watching us on Lumen TV Zambia this morning. My name is Palo Kangwa and these are my friends.
My name is Rachel Ponde.
My name is Teman Ponde.
And my name is Henim Tali.
And today on the kids segment, we are talking about hygiene. So what is hygiene?
There are 3 types of hygiene: personal hygiene, environmental hygiene, hygiene and health.
What is the importance of hygiene? The importance of hygiene is preventing the spread of infections and diseases.
And some more examples of keeping ourselves clean. We should wash our hands before eating,
Wearing clean clothes,
Cut our nails.
Bathing every day.
Why should we keep our bodies clean? We should keep our bodies clean for the boosting of self-esteem and preventing the spread of germs.
Why is it important to maintain public hygiene?
So that was that for today. I hope you have learned 1 or 2 things on today's topic. Stay tuned and see us next week Saturday. From us it's bye bye.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Lumen Morning Diary. Right about now, we've just been joined by Father Arthur. Father, good morning.
Good morning, Alice. Eugene, good morning.
Good morning, Father.
And good morning to our dear viewers.
Yes, Father, what do you have for us today on the What Father Saw?
Yeah, so today I thought we could share something on being receptive. Being receptive. When I have a gift for you, I have something to give you, I am handing it to you. If you're not receptive, you will not receive what I'm giving you. Yeah. What I mean by this is that if you do not put yourself in a position where you are able to receive what I'm giving you, even if I'm still handing that thing to you, I'm giving it to you, you still not be able to get hold of it or to receive it, because the disposition is not that of receiving. We can talk about being receptive in many ways, but this being food for the soul, I want us to talk about it in the spiritual sense, that as we continue to relate with God, as we continue on this path of faith, we should always try to be receptive, because God is constantly giving us something. God is always handing something to you. But if you are not receptive, you will not be receiving what is constantly giving you. When you go to pray, you know, there are people that say that that God does not answer prayers, or God takes time to answer prayers. You know, people talk about God's time is the best, but that same God's time does not even come on time. Yeah, it takes a lot of time to come. Simply because many people go to pray, but they don't go with a disposition of being receptive. So even if God is giving you what you are praying for in that moment, since you do not have that correct disposition to receive, you will not receive what you are praying for. You will not receive, not because God is not giving it to you. God is giving it to you, but as long as you remain unreceptive, you will not be able to receive. You will not even be able to see that God is actually giving you what you are or you were praying for. So being receptive in our spiritual life is very important. In the physical sense, when you want to express a gesture of reception, a gesture of being receptive, you unfold your hands. Okay, you I think in our general understanding of receiving or being receptive, we do this. Okay, we do this. To create room, to create an environment for someone to put in your palm. That is in the physical sense. But also in the spiritual sense, we can talk about it in the same manner. That being receptive in the spiritual sense, we need to open our hearts, to open ourselves to these graces that God continues to shower and to pour upon us. That is what it means to be receptive. You can be seated in church, but still miss the opportunity of receiving the grace, because you're seated in church insulated. You're seated in church covering yourself, preventing yourself from the graces, from the graces of God. That the graces of God are not touching you. They are not coming into contact with you, because you are just there, the body. You have not opened your heart. You have not opened your spirit. You have not opened your whole self in order for the graces that God is pouring upon you to touch you, to feel that you are actually in the presence of God. It's like when it is raining and you are carrying an umbrella or you are wearing a raincoat. So what you're doing in that environment of the rains is that you don't want the rains to touch you. And so you cover yourself. You carry that umbrella. And many people go to pray, go to church, wearing raincoats, wearing things that insulate them or cover them from receiving. So you go and sit in church and you miss that opportunity of being soaked in the graces of God. being soaked in the rains that God is pouring. Those who go to church with a correct position come out of the church different, transformed, because they had the correct disposition. They went in there, not just to take their body there in church and sit, and they went there and opened themselves to the blessings that they are asking for. I always say that people come to church with petitions in their hearts, not just those petitions that we read in front. Each person, I want to think that each person comes to church with something in their heart. They don't just come there escorting somebody, even though some people just escort their friends and all that. But if you understand what, the value of being in church, the value of attending mass, the value of attending a church service, if you understand that, then you will not go to church just escorting somebody. You go to church with something in your heart, a petition. Now, that petition will not be responded to, will not be attended to, as long as you continue wearing that cover around you. So have a correct disposition, be receptive, because God is constantly giving you. God is always handing something to you. But as long as your hands are clenched, as long as your fists are still folded, will not, there's no room for you to receive. So it's important to always try and be receptive. And then you're going to see that actually God answers prayers. Unlike what many people think.
Yes, Father, like you said, maybe because we carry so many things in our heart and we have a doubting heart, as in, okay, I receive from God because of the frustrations of life, and that actually prevent us from actually receiving what God has for us.
Yeah, I know that actually frustrations are one of those things that to prevent people from being touched by the grace of God. When everybody walks around with frustrations. We are all frustrated in one way or another. I think, yeah, we go through, I'm a pressure. Yeah, so people, have these things in their hearts. And if you focus on what is going on, if your mind is just focused on the pain, on that frustration, then you are not creating room for God to attend to that frustration. The room that you are creating is for yourself to attend to that frustration, but then it is something that is eating you up. It's something that is overwhelming you. And so you are not enough to attend to it to such an extent that you are able to sort it out. You need, let's put it this way, you need an extra hand. You need a third hand. And in this sense, the hand that you need is the hand of God. But then for that hand to come and, sweep out that frustration, you need to create room. You need to open the door so that God can just, sweep out that frustration. But if God comes trying to help you, but then you are already attending to your own frustration, then it's like you are telling God, I don't need you. I can sort it out myself. But then the truth of the matter is that you're not able to sort it out. It is just eating you up. And that's where you begin to see people getting into depression. Yes. And before you know it, they've gone crazy. I mean,
others even committing suicide.
And very few, once the frustration, it crosses a certain line, very few recover from that. And all these are things that are avoidable. If you only try, first of all, you acknowledge that you are going through this frustration, acknowledgement, very important. And then from there, you begin to open your heart, you open yourself to receiving help from God, maybe sometimes from others. But try also to get that help from God, because God is available. God is somewhere around, still waiting for you to create room, for him to enter, for him to do something about whatever is going on. So yes, I agree with you. Frustrations sometimes make people, have it difficult for them to receive the graces from God. But many times it is because they themselves are trying to sort out the frustration that is overwhelming them, the frustration that is eating them up, and doesn't work. So it's important always to open ourselves, to say, even just to be bold about it. Tell God, I'm going through this thing, but you know, I'm not able to handle it alone. Don't try to handle something that you know deep down your heart you cannot handle. Seek help. Seek a third hand. Seek the hand of God. Seek the hand of God so that this God can, you know, come in and begin to help you put the pieces, the broken pieces together, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So it's important always to make that acknowledgement. God is always giving us things, but the problem is ourselves. We are not opening our hands so that God can put the things that we are asking for from Him. Here. Mm-hmm. So you go to God with, you know, it's like two people. Hands. Yes, I can give you an example of two people. Mm-hmm. There's one that is actually even three people. One is carrying a teaspoon, going to receive graces from God. Okay, a teaspoon. There's another one who is carrying a whole drum. You know, a drum. Yes, a drum. Going to the same God to receive the graces. There's another one, quite all right, carrying a drum, a whole drum, maybe even bigger than the other drum. But which has a hole, pants. Okay. Who is most likely going to receive graces from God, and you know, make these graces help them to have a transformed life?
And the one with the
whole big drum. Yeah. In fact, this person is prepared. He or she is prepared not just to receive few graces. They go to God and say, in case there is extra, in case my graces just spare, I still have room. I still have room. Just pour in everything. Give me everything. There's this one carrying a teaspoon. He says, for me, I just need 2 graces. So you go to God, but God looks at you and says, no, what you need is not 2 graces. You need 10 graces. But then what you are carrying is not enough to receive 10 graces. So I'll just give you what you think you need. 2 graces. So God gives you 2 graces, but God has seen that what you need is not 2, you need 10. You think you need only 2. So you get back home with those 2 graces on your teaspoon. You get back home and you are like, I thought praying was going to work, but didn't work. It didn't work. Maybe I should just try something else. No, you went to God with the wrong, you know. But then that other one who is carrying a whole big drum, but a drum that has a hole at the base. Yes, God has poured in all the graces, even the extra ones. You know, this is the kind of person that is praying day in, day out. The kind of person that is akayamba kupempera midnight, that is 04 mapempero chat. But this person is not well prepared to receive God's graces. So they come out of those prayers, 4 or 5 hours prayers, like they never even prayed. Because once lingo piti in a chat. This is the person that is not even honest about themselves. Maybe they are just praying even just to show other people that they pray. The most honest person is this one who goes to God, you know, just as he or as she is. Say, my God, this is who I am. This is what I'm going through. This is what is eating me up. I have this whole big drum. What I need is everything that you have that can help me sort out what I'm going through. So God is going to pour in the graces. Drum chikuru, maybe the graces that you need only go up to half of that drum. Okay? But then God sees, this one, maybe you might need just spare, my graces just spare. God will just pour in. These are the people that will stand in front and tell testimonies. Hallelujah. This is what, hallelujah. God is good. And then you are seated there yourself like, what kind of prayers does this person pray that I don't pray myself? Because I pray 5 hours daily, but I can't tell such testimonies. Because the disposition has been wrong. Yeah. Praise God. Okay. Yes. So be receptive, okay? Be receptive. Put yourself always in a position where you know it becomes easy for God to give you what you need. Be receptive. Don't go to God with a teaspoon. Don't go to God with a whole big drum, but which has a hole at the base. Go to God with a drum sealed at the base, so that when He pours in His graces, He can even give you the extra and extra and extra. And when you go and sit in church, don't wear a raincoat. Don't carry an umbrella so that the rains of the graces of God do not touch you. Go to God as you are. Don't hide anything on yourself. Go to God as you are. God knows that you are going through that and you need this kind of help. Just go to him as you are. He is going to shower the graces from above, and those graces will not miss you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Father. We've been blessed with the word. Indeed, we've been fed.
Amen.
Yes. Well, that was Father Arthur who fed us with the food, Father. So I believe you've gotten one or two words from that. For now, we go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are still watching Lumen Morning Diary here on Lumen TV Zambia, and we are very happy to know that you are following this program. We have just been fed by with the food for the soul with Father Arthur Ntembula.
Yes.
Alice.
Yes, I've been fed, Eugene. I must say, Mandela, we should always be ready.
Indeed.
To receive God. Don't go in church with an umbrella.
I think that has been our problem most of the time. You know, we are not ready to receive God's blessings. And in the end of the day, we always complain, you know, God is not answering prayers on time. I think if we, just like Father said, if we open ourselves, open our hearts, God is going to fill us with those blessings and we'll be testifying.
Oh yes. Eugene, we have a message on Facebook.
Okay.
Let me just read it out. This is a message from, is it Fraser?
Fraser, yes.
Is it Fraser? Mwimba. Quite a challenge to appreciate the Kwacha gains when the prices most commodities don't reflect the gains the Kwacha has made. The people who appreciate the gains are only those who are importing. Then Felix Mlenga, I'm following.
Wow. Thank you so much for those messages, Alice. I think Mr. Fraser can be right. But before that, I think for now, let's join Alice as she talks to the Vice President for the Economics, and let's hear from them what they are saying about the economy in the Republic of Zambia. Stay tuned.
Hello, thank you for joining us again on Lumen Morning Diary. My name is Alice Lungu, and right about now I've just been joined by Mr. Banji Milambo, Economics Association of Zambia Vice President. Good morning and welcome to Lumen Morning Diary.
Good morning, Alice, and good morning to the viewers, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay. Mr. Milambo, kindly tell us more about yourself.
Thank you so much, Alice. Of course, my name is Milambo Mbanji, currently serving as Vice President of the Economics Association of Zambia. The Economics Association of Zambia obviously is one of the oldest professional institutions in the country, having been formed around 1960, then known as the Lusaka Economics Club. So basically what we do as EAZ is that we are economic advocates, and we do research and publication on issues to do with the economy and allied topics in the country. So basically ours is anything that has to do with the economic welfare of the country.
Okay. So to kickstart with our question, we'll begin. How is the economy of this nation in the second half of 2025?
Thank you for that question, Alice. Of course, as you are aware, the Zambian economy last year posted a positive 4% growth. Coming to 2025, we see sustained growth. The economy is showing optimism, sentiments of growth. So obviously the second half of 2025 picks up from that momentum, the culmination of all the macro variables coming into force. So of course the economy is showing signs of resilience and optimism for growth. Yeah.
What has contributed to the appreciation of the Kwacha against the US dollar?
So Alice, there are a lot of factors that have contributed to the Kwacha posting gains against major competitors. So you are aware, of course, that there are factors that risk the Kwacha to depreciate, and then there are factors that risk the Kwacha to appreciate. So yes, in this instance, we are looking at factors that has led to the Kwacha appreciating against the major competitors. Of course, maybe of interest to the viewers is the US dollar. So when you look at factors that have led to that, obviously you are aware that the central bank, the Bank of Zambia, have maintained a tight monetary policy. Basically what that intends to do is to unless the runaway exchange rate, as well as you are aware that we have an increase in the copper production. Our mines are rebounding. So we anticipate revenue from the FX aspect. So from the mining aspect as well as the agriculture, you are aware now that our imports in terms of food imports are going to reduce or are reducing because this year we recorded a good harvest, obviously due to improved rainfall patterns. But overall, also when you look at the global market, you see a shift, a weakness in the US dollar. As you are aware, obviously, the United States has been pursuing issues to reform their global economic trade, which has led to issues of, tariffs, which has negatively affected the US dollar against other currencies. But also you're aware that also the fuel pricing on the global market tends to have reduced. So we tend then to have a lesser expense in terms of purchase of fuels in the foreign currencies. So among many other variables, those are the major ones that have contributed to the Kwacha gaining. And obviously we are looking forward to the momentum, increased productivity to sustain the levels that the Kwacha, the economic stabilization. Yeah.
Talking about the fuel, we've seen, yes, the fuel has been reduced, and we've seen a reduction of 1 Kwacha to the bus fare. Are there any other reductions so far?
Thank you for that question, Alice. Obviously, we've seen that the RATSA with bus owners and transport operators, they recently had a meeting where they agreed to reduce fares by 1 Kwacha intermine. Of course, the reduction comes at the backdrop of the reduction on the pump prices of fuel. But the general prices on the market remains the reduction is quite modest. Of course, you are aware other institutions that are directly involved with, such as the Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Trade, have been calling that this is escalated to other sectors. So, of course, the reduction has remained modest in other sectors. We would want to see more. But look, again, at the end of the day, commerce is commerce. Business has to sustain their operations and the economy has to grind it. But generally, the reduction has remained modest. And outside the transport sector, we are yet to see other sectors also reducing in the same quantums or even better. Yeah, so obviously, it has remained very modest.
Mr. Milambo, what is expected of the citizens for such improvement in the economy to continue?
Okay, so Alice, obvious what we need to do now is to develop a resilient economy and stabilize all macro parameters. But look, all the numbers and the statistic that we are talking about now are mainly concerned on the macro stage or on the macro layer of the economy. But then it has to cascade to the micro level where me and you are major participants, where we partake. So obvious for us to sustain growth, we are looking at continued productivity. The citizens of this country have to continuously being productive. Also acquiring new skills. You might be aware that obvious new thematic areas now, what we call non-traditional contributors to GDP, such as entertainment and IT, are actually beating the major, the traditional contributor that we have known as an economy. So we are the citizens, the core to the citizens that the citizens remain productive and also purchase local production that should be supported by local purchasers. So obviously we do anticipate that if all parameters are put in place and also participation in the financial markets of the country, because look, if we're talking about financial stability, then we need our citizens to participate on the local financial market. So this goes to things coming into the umbrella of the financial market. So our citizens need to participate for us to sustain growth. But other than that, obviously, we are calling for policies from the central government and other players on the fiscal side. There should be deliberate policies that sustain this growth in terms of the tax regimes, the business environment that the government offers, and the infrastructure that is available for trade. So it's all around that aspect that then we anticipate that the citizen then will start seeing the positives of the variables that we are talking about.
In terms of statistics, how is Zambia performing on the continent?
Okay, so Alice, our GDP currently stands north of 30 billion United States dollars. That makes us a middle performing economy within the African continent. So we are a middle-sized economy. However, obviously the best approach we take is to compare ourselves against the statistic on the sub-Sahara Africa region. You are aware that the Zambian GDP, the Zambian economy rather, is projected to grow depending on the numbers, but I think they are all culminating to around 6%. The consensus on the IMF that 2025 our economy will grow north of 5.8% on the positive side. Our means of finance in Zambia'S are giving us 6.6%. Whilst I think the moderate economists are giving that we're going to grow our economy around 6%. And when you look this against the backdrop of the sub-Sahara Africa statistic where the economy of sub-Saharan Africa is anticipated to grow at around 3.5%. So you see that on that variable, the Zambian economy tends to grow more. Of course, when you look at the inflation target for 2025, you are aware that obviously as at April, our inflation was sitting at 16.3%. And we do see that all things holding constant, economists like using the word ceteris paribus. Yeah, all things holding constant, the annual inflation for Zambia will stand around 14 to 15%. And then going down towards the target, which is 6 to 8%. Yeah, so on that aspect, again, the sub-Sahara inflation focus, which is about 5.8%, somewhere there, you see that our inflation is still on the higher than 40%. So we have work to do. But also, look, I think there are positive sentiments that are coming on the economy, if our on the fiscal side and the government policy with vision, the policy that are in place, the 8th National Development Plan, and also other development plans that there are plans, there are measures and ambitions to double the economy by 2030, 2031. So we are looking towards how all the citizens will participate towards that vision, because look, for a country like ours, our GDP is, I think with the endowments that we have, is too low. So we all need to strive to double our GDP by that time, and it's doable.
What does Zambia need to implement to achieve long-term economic stability, reduce dependency on extra debt, and improve the lives of the poor?
Okay. Thank you so much, Alice. Obviously, you're aware one of the elephant in the room that this economy has been battling for some time now is debt. This country had borrowed in ratios that are north of 120% of the GDP. Like, that's so exponential a debt. And obvious strides have been made. As at the last budget that was presented, over 6% of the budget was going to be financed locally, which is a good thing. So we do encourage government through their various implementing agencies such as the ZRA, the ZDNO, to ensure that local revenue generation is actually upped. And also calling upon the citizenry that, look, it's us to develop the country, in as much as we are going to talk about FDI and external sources of financing. But the bigger players should be ourselves, because this is our economy and we are just players in the global economy. Of course, when we increase productivity, then we are able to competitively compete in the AFTCA. You are aware that we are members of the Africa Free Continental Trade Area. So obvious, the core is that there are reforms in terms of our policies that speak to what we want to achieve. Because it's a different thing to envision something, then you don't have the frameworks to achieve them. So we need to have deliberate policies that speak to this, the business environment that makes it possible for us to achieve energy sufficiency. You are aware one of the things that hit this economy so hard is energy, because for a long time, 85% of our energy was sourced from hydro. So the moment we don't have rains, then things goes north. But now I think we are seeing ambitions and very good projects coming up in solar, core, and we are diversifying our energy mix, which is a plus on the government and the people of Zambia. So really, for what we need to do is that we need to be very deliberate about the policy that we pursue as a nation. And these policies should have specific aims or specific things that they want to address. Look, we might be romantic as numbers we are giving that our economy will grow by 6%. Honestly speaking, 6% is not sufficient to reduce poverty in the country. We need our economy to grow by over 12% for us to address poverty. In as far as we are going to be talking about single-digit numbers, they are not sufficient to move this country out of the poverty shackles. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Milambo, it's been a pleasure having you on Lumen Morning Diary.
Thank you so much, Alice. Of course, also to extend our notification to the viewers and the general public that the Economics Association of Zambia will be holding a national economic summit in Livingstone on the 11th to the 12th of September, where we are going to bring together captains of industry, financial players, and SMEs. This summit specifically focuses on SMEs and also debt restructuring and alternative financing mechanisms. So because for a long time we have talked about debt, probably but of course there are other alternative financing mechanisms that we can pursue. So this summit really it's a national economic summit for everyone to participate, various captains of industries, people, businessmen, economists and allied professionals. So we'll be gathering in Livingstone at the Latson Brew, Muswatunya Latson Brew, to pursue the agenda of economic. Of course, ours is to make sure that our economy is resilient and also is sustainable, and we maintain the growth that we earlier talked about. Thank you so much.
Well, that was Mr. Banji Milambo, the Vice President of the Economics Association of Zambia. For now, it's back to the studio.
Well, our dear viewers, that was Mr. Mbanji Milambo, the Vice President of the Economic Association of Zambia, giving us an insight of what is happening in the economic world.
Oh yes.
You know, it's very difficult to understand all these things. You know, but it's good that now we understand them as in what is happening in details. And our viewers there, I'm sure they are now able to respond if they are able to celebrate the gaining of the Kwacha or not.
Oh yes. I must say we've quite learned a lot of information coming from Mr. Milambo there about the economy. Like you've said, Eugene, it is important that we know as a country where our economy is.
Yeah, indeed, it's very important. It's very important, especially to give exact things of what is going on in the economy, rather than what is happening around, especially in our social media. People are politicizing everything, not even telling and not even knowing what is really going on. I like what the Vice President has just said. She said, the government has done a lot in making sure that they reduce the inflation rate, which has been a problem like for quite some time now. But we still have that challenge. We still have that challenge. So I think, as he has said, they are doing everything possible to make sure that things are now okay. But for now, we are still having that challenge. Let's accept it, and let's all put in our efforts to make sure that we are on the safe side.
Oh yes, Eugene. Indeed, it has been a quite awesome journey on Lumen Morning Diary, beginning with the topic that we have today, and of course not forgetting the kids segment. You heard what the kids had for us today. They were talking about hygiene. Eugene, I hope you've learned something from that.
Yeah, indeed, hygiene is very important. We are seeing a number. I love those kids. They are always on point. Giving us nothing but the best.
Oh yes.
Hygiene is very important, not only to the kids but even to the old ones, because you will find people with a lot of skin diseases, a lot of other diseases that come with poor hygiene. But if we are able to keep ourselves around that area of being hygiene masters, I think let's all be hygiene masters, and we're going to live a healthy life, a healthy nation. Indeed.
Yes, we also shared what's trending on social media. We talked about that story that really touched us the most, what happened at the Kalingalinga filling station. I know that story is actually making noise on social media because really it touched our lives, and we pray for the soul of that female attendant to rest in peace. It's really a sad story, a sad reading to read actually. And yes, I know that there were quite a number of stories that were trending, and of course, let's not forget the Copper Queens.
Yeah, let's not forget they have been booted out of the WAFCON after losing by 5 goals to 0. I couldn't believe that was Zambia playing. I couldn't.
It's really heartbreaking.
I saw Nigeria scoring in was it in less than 3 minutes? Nigeria had already scored their first goal. I was like, what is going on? I couldn't believe they scored for the second one.
It's like Nigeria came prepared for the Copper Queens.
Yeah, indeed. Nigeria was very much prepared. And I think we should learn something from, our friends. What do they do if they have got an opponent? They have some time to see how they are playing. You see?
Their tactics.
I saw how the Nigerian defenders, how they marked Barbara Banda, how they marked Rachel Kundananji. Without committing any foul, they could easily wait for Barbara to come, and they could swipe away the ball just like that. And I think we can also do the same. Our defenders were supposed to have given some time to see how those Nigerian strikers It was not about, we beat Nigeria last time, even this time we can do ABCD. It was supposed to be like, how are they playing now? How can we contain them? How can we attack? It's like the way we were playing, we had no plan. And the other thing is, when you are in a game, you are in a match, you find that you have got a number of tactics that you use. If you use this first one, this one fails, you jump into the next one. But we kept on trying the one that had failed until the end of the match, which was so unfortunate. So it is no longer now even interesting to watch the WAFCON because Zambia is no longer.
Zambia is out. Anyway, stuff happens.
Indeed.
It happens. Like I'd said earlier on, there is time for everything. It's not all days that are Sundays. Yes, there is always next time. We wish they'll be there next time.
Yeah.
We wish them all the best. And thank you for coming this far.
Yeah, at least,
yeah,
they
were not booted out in the first
round.
At least they made it this far, and we are still proud of them. It's always important to be proud of them. And yes, let's also not forget that today we'll be live. Our mass, there will be mass at Adrian Mungomba Boys. And there'll be a debate which will be shown live on Lumen TV. We encourage you to stay glued and watch this beautiful debate that will happen at Adrian Mungomba Boys in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's Adrian Mungando Alice.
Mungando. Where have I gotten that name, Mungomba? Thank you for that correction, Eugene. So that's why it's important that you are here.
Yeah, so very soon we'll be crossing over to Adrian Mungando there, where everything is going on, and we have Henry Mdenda there, who is going to give us nothing but the best, especially in terms of updates on what is going on there at Adrian Mungando Boys International College, the debate. Catholic schools in Zambia, it's just that maybe people don't know, but now that we are putting them on the screens, we'll be able to see what is happening right there. I like these such programs like debates, because these are the programs that build representatives, people who are able to speak in public.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Today we have got a lot of people who have got wisdom, who have got ideas of some of them of which we can use to develop this nation, but they can't speak out. If you tell them to stand and speak, they can't speak. But out of the debaters, that fear of addressing the crowd, move away, and those are the people who even end up becoming politicians.
Yes. Oh yes. And let's also not forget to thank everyone that is watching Lumen TV, and everybody that has actually participated by simply texting us. We really do appreciate you. Remember that Lumen Morning Diary is actually open for sponsorship. You can actually sponsor this breakfast show. If you have a small business and you want to advertise, don't hesitate to visit us at Lumen TV. We'll advertise that business for you. Indeed, it has been a wonderful journey of a Lumen Morning Diary with Eugene and I. It's bye-bye.